Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar on New Jersey's paid family and medical leave. My name is Ines, and I will be your host today on behalf of YACO, Immigration and American Citizenship Organization. This is our third webinar with the New Jersey Department of Labor. We've been working with them on getting this important information out to our communities. It's important to know what benefits we're entitled to as workers in New Jersey, and to know that we have the right to these benefits and what exactly these benefits are. So this presentation will also be available on our website shortly after, so you can always go back to it and share it with family and friends. Okay, so just a quick disclaimer before we start. This presentation provides just general information, not legal opinion. And because of this, we cannot cover case-by-case scenarios. The New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development has provided this information and related materials as part of the fiscal year 2022 Cultivating Access, Rights, and Equity Care Grant Program. The presenters, which are us here at YACO, work closely with the New Jersey Department of Labor to keep this information timely and accurate. However, there will often be a delay between official publications of the materials and modifications. The New Jersey Register and the New Jersey Administrative Code remain the official sources for regulatory information published by the New Jersey Department of Labor. And also, if there are any questions throughout the presentation, you can submit those at any time through the chat box, and my coworker will help me in answering them. Okay, so let's get started. So to start off, we want our communities to know that now more than ever, we need time to give and receive care. The US is the only advanced economy without a national paid family and medical leave policy, but New Jersey is one of the few states that has one. So the New Jersey paid family and medical leave law supports our health and the health of our families while advancing economic security, productivity at work, and gender equality. So there are three main components to the New Jersey paid family and medical leave, and these are the New Jersey temporary disability insurance, New Jersey family leave insurance, and the state and federal job protection laws. And we'll be discussing each of them thoroughly throughout the presentation. Okay, so to start off, we'll talk about the New Jersey temporary disability and family leave insurance. So these programs offer cash benefits for when you have to stop working to care for your own or a loved one's physical or mental health, when you have to care for yourself during pregnancy or childbirth recovery, when you need to bond with a new child, or when you have to cope with domestic or sexual violence. So these are the employer requirements. New Jersey employers are required to participate in these programs or provide employees coverage through a private insurance plan. The federal government is exempt, and temporary disability is optional for local governments, for example, counties, municipalities, and school districts. And if your employer is covered, they are required to set up payroll contributions for you. And if you believe you are covered under the program, but payroll contributions have not been made, you are still encouraged to apply, as it may have been an error. Okay, and here are more employer requirements. So employers are required to display the temporary disability and family leave insurance posters in a workplace location clearly visible to employees. They are also required to provide written notice of temporary disability and family leave insurance when an employee is hired, when they request information, or when they notify an employee of their need for leave. And they are also required to report employee quarterly earnings to the state, and there is no employer portion of the application. Okay, employee eligibility requirements. So to qualify, your earnings must be with covered employers. You must meet earnings requirements, you can see myleavebenefits.nj.gov for the current year's requirements. And generally, employees working substantially outside of New Jersey are not covered, but they are still encouraged to apply. A valid Social Security number is required in the application, and you must meet the definition of an employee. Properly classified independent contractors are not eligible, and you can learn more about worker misclassification at myworkrights.nj.gov. Okay, so here are the benefits you can receive. Up to a maximum of 85% of average weekly wages. You can see myleavebenefits.nj.gov for the current year's max benefit level. For temporary disability insurance, you can receive up to 26 weeks of benefits as certified by a medical professional. For family leave insurance, you can receive up to 12 weeks of benefits if taken consecutively, or 56 days of benefits if taken intermittently, and medical certification is required for caregiving claims. So how are the programs funded? For temporary disability insurance, both employers and employees contribute to the cost of the program. Workers contribute through deductions taken out of their paychecks. And for family leave insurance, the program is financed 100% by worker payroll deductions. So employers do not need to contribute to the program. Okay. So we're going to review some scenarios for which you may receive temporary disability or family leave benefits. So if you need to care for yourself, you can apply for temporary disability insurance. For example, if you cannot work due to a physical or mental health condition, including pregnancy / childbirth recovery and COVID-19, you may be eligible for temporary disability insurance, and you may receive up to 26 weeks of benefits as certified by a medical professional. If you need to care for a loved one, you can apply for family leave insurance. So this would be if you cannot work because you are caring for a loved one with a physical or mental health condition, or if you are coping with a domestic or sexual violence, or caring for a loved one who is a victim / survivor of domestic or sexual violence. And the duration of this leave is up to 12 weeks of benefits if taken consecutively, or 56 days or 8 weeks of benefits if taken intermittently. Okay, so who is considered a family member in the law? Or who can we provide care for? So we can provide care for our child, whether being biological, adopted, foster, or stepchild. We can also provide care for our spouse. This includes domestic partners or civil union partners. We can provide care for our parents, our siblings, our grandparents, our grandchildren, our in-laws, any blood relation to the claimant, any chosen family, or any other individual with a close association equivalent of a family relationship. Okay. And if you are a new parent, you may apply for temporary disability and family leave insurance. Typical benefits for a birthing parent without complications are 4 weeks for pregnancy, plus 6/8 weeks for recovery, plus 12 weeks for bonding, or 56 intermittent days, up to 24 weeks total. Okay, and the New Jersey Department of Labor offers this maternity timeline tool. So this tool is made for birthing parents to make planning a little bit easier. So it helps you estimate the dates each benefit starts and ends. And you can check that out at myleavebenefits.nj.gov/timeline. Okay. And then when you need to bond with a new child, you would apply for family leave insurance. Both parents can receive family leave benefits to bond with a child within a year of the child's birth, adoption, or foster placement. and you would receive up to 12 weeks of benefits, again, if taken consecutively, or 56 days of benefits if taken intermittently. And if you are coping with domestic or sexual violence, you can take family leave or temporary disability insurance. You can apply for family leave benefits to cope with domestic or sexual violence, such as seeking medical attention, therapy, victim advocacy, or legal services. You can also use family leave benefits for safety planning or escaping abuse, such as staying in a domestic violence shelter, or attending or preparing for court, or for recovering at home. You can also receive temporary disability benefits for related physical or mental health conditions as certified by a medical professional. Okay, and just 1 second, sorry about that. Okay, and if you are unemployed, you can transition from unemployment benefits to paid and family leave benefits. And you can learn more about this at myleavebenefits.nj.gov/unemployed. If you are laid off while receiving pregnancy/recovery or bonding benefits, you can apply for unemployment or reopen your claim at myunemployment.nj.gov. Okay, so family leave can also be used for part-time employees. Employees with multiple jobs may receive family leave benefits if they only take leave from one employer, provided that they do not exceed their usual work schedule in the other job. So employees with multiple jobs may receive family leave benefits if they take leave from more than one employer, and the benefit rate will be based on the wages from the employment from which they are taking leave. Okay, so here we'll talk about paid time off prior to receiving benefits. So prior to temporary disability insurance, employers can require employees to utilize paid time off before receiving temporary disability insurance. However, employers cannot require employees to utilize their New Jersey earned sick leave. And prior to family leave insurance, employers cannot require employees to utilize accrued paid time off before receiving family leave insurance. However, employees may choose to, and it would not reduce the maximum duration of benefits to which the employee is entitled to. Okay, so when do we notify our employer when taking our paid leave? So for temporary disability insurance, the law does not specify how far in advance you must notify your employer. For family leave insurance, if you're bonding with a new child and you're using it for continuous leave, you must notify your employer up to 30 days in advance of the date you plan to start your leave. For intermittent leave, you must notify your employer 15 days in advance of each anticipated absence. And if you are caring for a loved one, you must give your employer reasonable notice unless there are unforeseen or emergency circumstances. And the New Jersey Department of Labor encourages you to keep your employer informed. Having an open discussion with your employer and your need for leave will allow them to prepare for your absence and make adjustments to work schedules if necessary. Your employer may also be able to provide some insight on job protection. Okay, and here are some tips on applying. So we recommend applying online, but you can also apply by mail or fax. You can also have a trusted person help you apply. For temporary disability, you can list a representative on your application, giving them permission to get information on your claim. And we also recommend that you plan ahead to the best of your ability. It can take 2 to 6 weeks to approve a claim and pay benefits once the New Jersey Department of Labor has a complete application. We also recommend that you follow up with your medical provider, and you can see myleavebenefits.nj.gov/your payment for payment information. Any questions, you can always use the New Jersey Department of Labor's Contact Us form at myleavebenefits.nj.gov/email. Okay, and now we'll talk about job protection. So temporary disability and family leave insurance are partial wage replacement programs, and they do not provide job protection. However, during the period in which an employee receives temporary disability or family leave insurance benefits, an employee's job may be protected under federal or state laws. And please note that you may be eligible for temporary disability or family leave insurance benefits, whether or not your job is protected under one of these laws. So your job may be protected under the following laws. Under Federal Family and Medical Leave Act, FMLA. This law is enforced by the U.S. Department of Labor. Can also be protected under New Jersey Family Leave Act, NJFLA, and this is enforced by the New Jersey Division on Civil Rights. And it may also be protected under the New Jersey SAFE Act. Additional requirements apply, and you can learn more on myleavebenefits.nj.gov/job protection. Okay, so the Federal Family and Medical Leave Act, FMLA, is enforced by the U.S. Department of Labor. You can learn more about this at dol.gov/agencies/WHD/FMLA. And employees can receive up to 12 weeks of unpaid job protected leave in 12 months to, once again, care for your own illness or injury, including COVID-19, or to care for a spouse, child, or parent with a serious health condition. You can also use it to bond with a newborn, newly adopted, or foster child. Okay, and this law generally applies to employers with 50 or more employees within 75 miles of the work site or a government entity regardless of size. So the employee must have worked there at least 12 months, and the employee must have worked at least 1,250 hours in the past 12 months. The employee must also generally give employer 30 days notice if your need for leave is foreseeable. All these requirements must be met, or an employer is not required to hold an employee's job. Okay, and the New Jersey Family Leave Act, the NJFLA. This act is enforced by the New Jersey Division on Civil Rights, so you can visit njcivilrights.gov to learn more. Employees can receive up to 12 weeks of job protected leave in 24 months to care for or bond with a newborn, newly adopted, or foster child, to care for a family member or someone who is equivalent of family with a serious health condition, including COVID-19, or who has been isolated or quarantined because of a suspected exposure to a disease, including COVID-19. And they must provide required care or treatment for a child. Or they can also use the leave if they must provide required care or treatment for a child if their school or place of care is closed due to a public health emergency like COVID-19. Okay, and the New Jersey Family Leave Act applies to employers with 30 or more employees worldwide or government entities regardless of size. The employee must have worked there for at least 12 months. The employee must have worked at least 1,000 hours in the past 12 months. And the employee must generally give the employer notice if the leave is foreseeable. There are some exceptions, and all of these requirements must be met, or an employer is not required to hold the employee's job. Okay, and lastly, we'll talk about the New Jersey SAFE Act. So employees can receive up to 20 days of unpaid job protected leave to cope with domestic or sexual violence. Generally applies to employers with 25 or more employees and government agencies. And for more information on the SAFE Act, you can visit nj.gov/labor/forms/LWD home. Okay. And now we'll discuss retaliation. So it is unlawful for an employer to retaliate against you for taking or seeking to take their temporary disability or family leave benefits. So retaliation includes, but is not limited to, being fired, reducing your salary, increasing oversight on your job duties, changing your workplace responsibilities, excluding you from meetings. And if retaliation occurs, you have the right to take private legal action. Okay, and for more info or help with a temporary disability or a family leave insurance claim, you can call the New Jersey Department of Labor at 609-292-7060. You can also visit their website at myleavebenefits.nj.gov, and you can click on the Need Help button. You can also send mail to New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development. Their PO Box is PO Box 387, Trenton, New Jersey, zip code 08625, and their fax number is 609-984-4138. All right, and that's the end of our presentation. I'm just gonna take a look at the chat box and see if there were any questions asked, and we can review those. Okay, doesn't look like there were any questions. If you guys have any questions, you could leave those in the chat box now. But if not, that concludes our webinar for today. We'd like to thank everybody once again so much for joining. We hope that the presentation was informative and well received. And we would really love if you'd help us get the word out. You can follow us on Instagram at Yako Immigration, where we post more detailed information on paid family and medical leave. And you can always feel free to share our posts. So with that, we hope you have a great day, and until next time, take care, everyone. Thank you.